above reason darkens. Information is power. And you ain't got it, have ya? You're losing it, sonny. No Beano, no comment.
I've got to get a grip. They say that information is power, and I need information. So I've got to get out there and get in touch. It's off to the library.
Oh, for f***'s sake. There must be an easier way to get well informed. Ah, sorted. Library, please, Gov. Tradesman's entrance again. Now, where do I really want to go? Gadflies? Gandhi? Garibaldi? Geezers?
Generation X. They have the concentration span of a gnat.
People buying a computer now would have to get one, if it's an IBM compatible PC, the one most often used, that was capable of running this Windows thing. And these days you'd be paying 1,200 quid, say, for the computer and a printer. On top of that, you need this thing called a modem, which is the piece of gubbins that connects you to the telephone wires, and maybe 200 quid for that, although they vary in price a lot. And then you've got to get your access, which involves getting a subscription to somebody who gives you a number that you dial, and they will often give you the software that you need as part of that package, and that can cost you £10 a month, as much as £25 a month. And then you've got to pay the phone bill.
Hello, yes, I'm disabled and I'd like to get onto the internet. I wonder, could you possibly come over and sell me some of your wonderful wares?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman and CEO, Microsoft Corporation, Bill Gates.
The internet is kind of like a gold rush. In fact, it will mean that our industry will be changing the way people do business, the way they learn, and even the way they entertain themselves.
I can do whatever I want with it. Whatever you can do with your fingers and the mouse, you can do solely by voice with Kurzweil.
So how much would this system cost?
This system is a snip to you, sir. $5.95. And it's got the largest vocabulary of all. IBM have got 15,000. This has 200,000 words. The average Sun reader uses 5,000 words. Shakespeare used 140,000 words. This has got 200,000 words. It is incredible.
There is currently a small body of people trying to raise the awareness of disability and access to the internet because web pages can be very difficult to read for people with visual impairment. The screens can be very busy and you can't actually see the information that's on there. Some people can't use the standard mouse, and there are pointing devices out there.
What this does is allow you to have single switch access to the computer system. So for example, when I press the button, you can see this scanning keyboard will appear on the screen.
Right.
I click when I get to the row I want. It then scans through the various groups in the row.
Scan menu.
That will now start scanning the menu bar.
This also actually says what you're doing.
That's right, yeah.
So if you're blind.
That's right. If you had a multiple disability whereby you had no vision and you were forced to use a single switch as your access method, then this would give you sufficient feedback to access programs. Setup.
Transfer keyboard.
To an alternative setup, which would give me all of my keyboard functions back again.
Right. Hey, makes good noises, doesn't it?
I think disabled people should use internet because they can share experiences with other disabled people. And as far as deafness goes, there are so many different degrees of deafness, and there are so many different backgrounds that you can come from. And it's very geographically diverse. So, in other words, I mean that deaf people with similar hearing loss, similar education, and similar background from me are very few and far between. So the net helps you to discover other people.
Dear sir, how on earth can correct that, stop listening? Most people think because you can talk to it, it's got a brain like everyone else you talk to who can talk back to you. But it hasn't. It's got a really good ear, but no brain. You can send faxes by voice. You can do everything by voice. And if you get a message on the internet, you can't read it, you say read it back, and it'll read it back to you.
I mainly use Usenet, which is news groups, but actually there's very little news in news groups. They really chat.
So what do you chat about on these?
Anything you can imagine. There's a lot of traffic at the moment about low-floor buses and the introduction of low-floor buses, for example. There are silly things. We've had a virtual bar where we go and have virtual drinks and virtual chats, and we can, of course, have anything on the menu. You just make it up. It's fun.
Well, I could virtually murder a pint. And I need to know a bit more about how to use this gear. So I went down to one of those internet cafes to kill 2 virtual birds with 1 virtual stone.
Okay, so when you open up Netscape, it'll open up to the home page that you set. And in this case, we've set for Channel Siberia. You can't do everything that you want to do from the home page, obviously. So you need to know how to search. So if you can click on either Net Search or Net Directory, and that'll bring up 5 search engines. These will help you move around the World Wide Web, or surf it, as they say. So you can type in a specific topic. You can go music, you can go actors, actresses, you can go sports stars.
Look up the word disability. Try and spell it right first.
And if you can just use the arrow here, sorry. It's taking a while though. A lot of people, if they're using the internet at home, they find that with a lot of graphics, it can be very, very slow because their modem makes it slow.
A modem is the means of actually getting the information from the service provider down the telephone line and into your computer. High-speed modems is, I believe, essential because most people say the internet is slow. What can be slow is the downloading of information.
There are already a lot of disabled people on the internet. There are a lot of blind people very active on the internet, and there are deaf people, and there are people from the whole community on the internet. And unlike anywhere else, we're equal. And really, the rest of society should start following.
Well, there seem to be a lot of things you can do on the internet. But if you really want to know whether you can believe the hype about it, get online with us next week and we'll find out.